Shalom Michelle, we are the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge and Dr. Martin Jelmayana started out on 1 West to New York. We teach the truth about the Bible and the Black Hispanic so-called native Indians as well. Right? Those people carry Barawak are the true biblical Jews of the Bible, the Israelites of the Bible, right? Sure, and the fourth, or Jacob is the forefather. Jacob, Abraham, Isaac, you understand? David, Christ, them is the bloodline, you understand? So today is the brotherhood class, and we're just going into hold it down until Officer McGregorich, right? And Peace and Officer Tazo also coming through, you understand? Actually, questions in the chat here, we will try and get understand answer to whoever the questions them as soon as possible, right? But just in the meantime, we have to touch on Romans 2 now, right? Because we want to go down to those 29 if we get a chance to go into it now, right? But we're going to discuss what is a Jew inwardly, what it is to be a Jew inside, what it means to be an Israelite, a brother, a sister, what it means to be that. You know what I mean? Because we just hear the talks and the terms coming out of late, because this is something that unfortunately was wiped out of history basically through slavery. So we want to understand what's basically what that look like then, what it is to be a Jew inside, right? So with that, we will start from Romans chapter 2, read from verse 1 back, because the religious institutions have the context and the terms of what the Bible is talking about way off. When you look at it, understand from what the Bible is talking about as opposed to what they say it is two different things. Right? So we can touch on that, and then we get to understand a little bit more in terms of what a man, you understand, that live in that time does do, or she does do, and what we just do today is nothing different. The Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, we specialize in that, bringing Blacks and Spanish and Native Indians back to the culture. You understand? So with that, we will start from Romans chapter 2. When I get ready from about
Romans chapter 2 and verse 1.
Go through.
Therefore, thou art excusable, woman, whosoever thou art, and judgest. For wherein thou judgest another, thou condemnest thyself. For thou that judgest do the same thing.
All right. So the Roman Paul going into the mindset we supposed to have, right? Because the oppressor now is a malicious kind of man, right? That's not who we're not supposed to be. So we're gonna make a stark difference in terms of what the churches and them just push. You understand? The religious organizations push, as opposed to the spirit is supposed to have as a brother. What it means to be a Jew on the inside. What you're supposed to, what that look like, what materialize into, right? So you're telling you, thou art an excuse, because the Bible is not about design, and understand the state, take from my side, chop it down from my side, and all of that, but the cases. It's not designed for that. Right? If that was the case, the Lord didn't spend all this time and let the prophets and then bring instruction. The Bible said that they have instruction to reprove, instruction in the righteousness, so that you'll be complete and entire. You would lack nothing. You won't be walking around the planet and you ain't sure about how to do this, how to do that. You know, you're messing up here, you're messing up there, you know. You're looking at people from the wrong perspective, the eyes and the mind state they are supposed to have towards one another, especially Blacks and Hispanics. So this is the key now to alleviate or to avoid having gang warfare, you understand, two wars and all that, because all that is rubbish, absolute rubbish. It's because you don't understand your culture, right? We don't know what
Verse 2.
right?
But we are sure that the judgment of the Most High is according to the truth against them which commit such things.
Right. So now it's the Lord, the Paul going into it, he say, oh God, you see what you're talking there? See what they're pushing there? That is absolute rubbish. But we know that the Most High, understand the judgments of the Most High, sure, according to the truth, according to what it really is. Not as opposed to what I may feel it like or what the oppressor said like, because we know have been influenced, you understand, by the oppressor. Everything we know today as a people, as a society, it's based on what he thinks it is as opposed to what the Bible says. So Paul now going and show them, he say here what? I know the judgment, you understand, the mind state of what the Most High see that this is right to do. You understand? All the condemnations or the punishment, whatever it is, I know that is according to the truth. Not according to feelings and not according to what I think it may be something to do and all that. No, there's no confusion in that. It's strictly this is what it is. This is the spirit that you're supposed to have. So for Black, Hispanic, Native, Indian man, woman, and child, this is the spirit that you're not supposed to have. You understand? That is what Most High going to make sure it's clear. He is not going to leave you hanging in the balance, or you're unsure what is the next step. You understand? Or how to raise a family, how to resolve issues, how to, you understand, get my health in a drive, how to make sure it's steady, how to make sure I avoid certain things, how to stay out of that, how to stay out of the shocks and the nations, and right, but then the death traps, all of that. You want to make sure that you're not sling up there, basically, and you always fighting for a little opportunity, and a center always climb with our whole every minute you look, you can't pay bills, you can't do this, you can't, your family in shambles, all of that. Right now, as how the society is right now, you're not equipped with the right knowledge to teach your children, and you don't have the time, right, to even teach them the wrong thing. Like to tell you how dread it is, how wrapped up you're in, because when you had to go from we call it slavery, right, from your workplace, and you had to leave from how much distance is hours there. By the time your children reach home, like if they were here, you understand, they must sleep. You had to just go up to the next day again. You don't have the time to really gather the right information you're supposed to have, especially as it wasn't raised in your culture. Right? Like lower down in the chapter, you're going to talk about Jew and Gentile. A Jew will basically be brought up in the ways and the customs of the children of Israel, of your people, how it's supposed to be. A Gentile, basically, you grow up in order. It's like a Trinidadian, you didn't grow up in Jerusalem. A Jamaican, you didn't grow up in Jerusalem. You understand? A Grenadian, a Bahamian, the same thing goes along the way. A man from Central and South America, El Salvador, Nicaragua, Venezuela, Brazil, all of that. You didn't grow up in the place where this is the culture of the Black people, the people of the Bible, and this is how you're supposed to live. This is how you're supposed to pass it down to your children accordingly, going down the line. You didn't grow up with that. Right? So, bringing you back up to speed now and showing you again. This is the correct mindset to have. Right? So, Jew and Gentile, don't get mixed up. What the Lord saying, this is according to the truth of what it really is, as opposed to what you have been taught by your oppressors. Because under them, this is all you have been taught. As us as well, for how much? For about 4,000 years, or many cases and more, we have been under the oppressors. That is why we have the mindset within today. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, when is the last time you said that you had a sit in the UN Council and you saw in history that we as a people was ruling? We had a chance to understand the rule the entire world and see exactly how it's supposed to run. There's only one recollection, and you didn't know it's you. That's understand 40 years. Black people, you understand, that goes to churches and all the religious organizations, you still thinking that you're a Gentile, meaning a non-Israelite or non-Jew. That you is to be grafted and you is to get a part of the salvation that belongs to other people. First, you've been disconnected from your heritage. You didn't know that this is you reading about anybody. That is how dreaded it is. That's how dangerous and deceptive this society is. The oppressor that we live in under, that is how dreaded it is. That is a dread thing that is it easy. Right? We don't have a bishop.
To straight. And thinkest thou this woman that judgeth them, which do such things, and doeth the same, that thou shalt escape the judgment of the Most High?
Right, because the Christian churches, all right, following this because they know the guilty of this. The hypocrisy, the scriptures, Christ in Matthew 23, right? Beware the 11 and the Pharisees, which is hypocrisy. You understand the kind of stupidness all that is be doing in front and behind closed doors, right? That the thing people don't see. The ways and the conducts and the mannerisms, they follow the evil, the plotting. You understand? The ways they just operate. They know that what they be doing is garbage, but the thing is, they have a mindset where they feel everybody like them, right? So now they're always looking for a way for a one-up. They're always looking for some opportunity, you understand, to mash somebody down. That is not the reason, you understand, that you have the scriptures or they're supposed to come together, right? And that is what we see everywhere else. You understand? You talk to the average man, whatever the case is, and his mind is corrupted. by this way, because he does not think about building up his people. He does not think about what I could do. What is the first mind, the first thought that should come to my head is, hey, okay, I know my brother does not understand this, and because I equipped to do it, right now I just go and help him see this is what we just do. Right, like how the scriptures telling you, like Matthew 18, right, for certain things. So let's say picture it like this. You and your siblings living in a house together. You are the elder sibling, or maybe younger sibling, but you're close in and you're wise enough, or you've been taught a certain way. So maybe it wasn't taught at home, but you maybe was taught at that maybe hospitality school, in school, etiquette, some kind of class you went to, and show you, okay, this is how we're going to operate, right? Because this here is really the right thing to do. As opposed to you now putting them one side, putting out one side and showing out, yeah, this is a better way to approach to do things, whatever the case is, you know, you're starting to do, you're looking to put that person on blast. You know, you're not in the mind to build them up because you're not skillful, you're not equipped to do that. You don't know how to season your words. So Captain Desire, he does say that all the time. There's a captain of our school, a very wise brother, you understand, that put in number of years and has been going about the place and helping brothers and sisters understand these things. That's why we're so privileged to understand that now. Right? The way that you're supposed to do things, right? You season it so because you know how to answer people, you know how to really actually help them see, okay, this is what to be done, this is what should be done. Right? If you have that, a case that a must say doesn't come you down, you know for sure that I'm not coming from a place of maths. Right? Even if you understand the shame, that is the level of understanding that we lack. Now it has come across. That's why people doesn't like to deal with the Bible, because you always see it from the mind of an oppressor. So you're always thinking is an oppressor book or is a white book, because you never see it from the lens of a black man, of a Hispanic man, a Native Indian man, woman and child. You never see it as you in the Bible, right? You never see it as, hey, really and truly. You know, the reason why it doesn't want to touch this is because it doesn't seem like it is a book of love, a book of really and truly how to really build, you understand, and rise out of certain situations and help you along the ways when you have shortcomings, right? Which really and truly, if it was cultured, all you would have known is this is how we just operate. We just operate from a strong perspective. You would have understand what strength is. It is not, you understand, a boson, it's not what you call macho man thing. It's not that. It's really and truly inside here. Being a Jew inwardly, you grow with a certain strength, a certain character. So now you understand how to approach things, you know how to understand how to absorb a hit, you understand how to take low, and all these different things is what is contribute to us dealing well with each other. And it is constitute a good working environment for us to do more. Right? So these are the things that we must understand what it means to be a true inwardly, so that now we have the capacity, you understand, the function now in a more effective and you know, a better way. The way the Lord always wanted it to. Read on Bible.
Verse 4. For despiseth thou the riches of his godliness,
goodness. Right, good too.
And forbearance, and long suffering.
Right, so here we go. Mike, am I gonna to what? Oh, it says Mike, to what? Sorry, slap it. Appreciate that. Right? Yes, sir. Right, so it's saying, read over verse 4 again, Baba Kusha. I know people, let me try and say it.
Romans chapter 2 and verse 4. For despiseth thou the riches of his goodness and forbearance.
Yeah. Look at them.
And long suffering.
Oh. Again, conversation.
Romans chapter 2 and verse 4. For despiseth thou the riches of his goodness and forbearance and long suffering, not knowing the goodness of the Most High, leadeth thee to repentance.
So, or despises the riches of his goodness. You understand? So now, because you're in a malicious state of mind, because of the oppressor, right? You despise the riches of the Most High, which is the mercy then. Because you know that none of we understand it. The reason why we in this position we're in is because we didn't understand what it is what it takes, you understand, or what you're supposed to be, how you're supposed to think, how you're supposed to live, what you're supposed to do. So we despising it and watching down on somebody else because certain things that we don't have in us. So now it's like this inferiority complex. They call it inferiority complex now. You know that hey, we're supposed to be, but I'm looking for the opportunity now to push this man down or to push her down. That's why there's have a lot of bickering and back and forth and a lot of shushuing women in these religious organizations and a lot of destructive ways that is carried about because they never understand that hey, women don't operate this way. Like they never had like a father instructing them or putting it down the day. I don't want to see all of that garbage. You understand what I'm telling all you? You follow and you know you have to keep yourself in a certain line so that you ain't moving out of place. So it's like chewing wine, running wild because now you don't have somebody putting down the foot and line, you know, we don't do the same. Right? So that is what that is talking about because now you're thinking you can run wild. Right? And because they don't have that in them, right? No fence and protection to protect them from their own self. Now it happened away well, you know, it happened all this different back and forth. And they know that they should be doing something more productive with the time. Why is they taking that set of time to now come together and find a way to help the sister do something more productive? Or find a way to help her alleviate, you know what I mean? Whatever situation she ended up being in, unfortunately, because of the oppression of society. Because she don't have a culture, just like they don't have their culture. Right? So now it's always now you understand I'm looking for somebody to mash down because I where supposed to be. Really and truly, if you was equipped, right, as it's supposed to be, what you would have done is make a way. Just like a Proverbs 31 woman. Plenty people say that and never read the chapter. You don't understand what the words inside of Proverbs 31 is saying. The constructive ways that this woman inside of here. The only way this woman saw it because she saw a man, you understand, shocking terms of this out and this how to do this, right? When you hear about men who sit down in council and all Exodus and Leviticus and Deuteronomy and all of that, men sitting down there because they have their system that home running. They have their family running how it's supposed to go and instructed and everything like that and going that way. And then now the women now just falling after suit because the men then already laid down the foundation of how they're supposed to operate. So this thing where I table and we bring it to the table and all of that garbage is absolute peasantry. That is the mind and a sense of really and truly just being in a more in a bum way. I wouldn't even say homeless because a homeless man could understand that a lot more than other people, right? In high places and all that, you would be surprised. It's just in some hard times falling them, he doesn't have a network what he's supposed to have. Like how the heathens and then they have their associations and all of that. That's supposed to be a normal thing. We just look at that as there's some type of wickedness we do in somebody else. When they operating and functioning there, they might be left. Right? But that not, we're not supposed to, Black Spanish and Native, and they're not supposed to look at that as something and be afraid of that and we, you know, don't want to see what we own. Like, all that making sense? You telling me you afraid to ensure that your house good, your neighbor them good and all of that? I know growing up, you understand, in the Caribbean, we know this. If you have some fruits, whatever the case is, or some kind of we call ground provision and all that, fig and green fig, we are accustomed just giving somebody some, that's how we operate. When your oppressor came across in 1492, that's what he meet. People are hospitable. That's how this live. We just make sure, you know, you good, eat. All the high holidays are the most high design now. When you come together, you make sure everybody well taken care of. That's the culture for Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. So where it came, where this idea came about that I gonna look from what you call the steeple, I'm looking down from a steeple and I'm looking down on this person. And I'm beating them over and I'm feeling some type of power from what you get out of that. Where does this idea come about? Are we examining what it is we're going to fellowship with? Are we examining, you understand, what the Bible is saying? Is this what I'm seeing here? When I'm looking at here and I'm seeing the fruits of the Spirit, is this lining up with what I'm supposed to do? Do I even care about it? And if these people that are around you and you came here with an earnest mindset or earnest spirit to want to learn exactly what to do, why are you still there? Why are you not searching for where it is? Because this Bible, no matter what, remember they kill the prophets are all of them. Every man that coming through here, every sister that coming through here understand something. We didn't come here understand to live a life a luxury and all that. We came here understand knowing that it's a sacrifice, even if it means death. But we understand something that will come back on the earth again a lot because when we have our culture intact, we're not afraid of death, we're not afraid of pain and suffering and all of that and being ostracized and whatever. and being blocked out of people, you know, orgy parties that they call this thing, Thing Island, but we name it with Jeffrey Epstein. We're not afraid of things like that because we don't want no part of that. Second mic. Mic. Oliver, just 1 minute, right? We should be already. How we something this? So go on. Right. So as we were saying, right, you really and truly understand we was done so much of an injustice being under these people. But here what it get to show us to. When we under every other race, every other nation on under the planet, we see what the end results is. We see what the end results are. When they give us license to put churches and religious institutions on every block, every mosque, whatever it is, we see what the outcome is. But here's what. Thanks be to the Most High that we get our opportunity. To the Most High, we have an opportunity now to learn. Young brothers like ourselves and all of that, you understand? Younger brothers, younger sisters, getting a chance, understand? Because maybe it doesn't stay young forever. But we're getting a chance to see what the Bible actually talking about, what it actually look like. So through the Most High, we now have a place, which is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, ISUPK, the class that you see now, and all over the place. You're getting to see what the Bible actually talking about and what it's supposed to be doing. What is the Bible speaking about and who are the people of the Bible? What they used to do? What does work for us? Right? And what we're supposed to really actually maintain, uphold, fight for, die for, whatever the case is. What it really actually look like. Right? So lower down the chapter again, for those who know probably now come through whatever the case is, we was talking about what the topic that we're talking about until I have passed off to the other officer is what it means to be a Jew inwardly, inside it. What's supposed to, you understand, be a makeup in your character. It's supposed to, you know, feel like, shape like, do, you know, it's that they're not confused in terms of what the Bible is actually talking about. Read over from verse 4 again, Baba Bishop.
Romans chapter 2. Romans chapter 2 and verse 4. For despite thou the riches of his goodness and forbearance and long suffering.
Pause right here. Right? So everybody knows if you see somebody dragging a child on the ground, they say, but we're going to you, mad. But the child, you know, pull down something off the table and you know, you're like, and somebody run take them some last you want to know, hey, we're going with you, something. This is how we're supposed to be, you understand, with each other. Not to stop from being a certain age. It's supposed to carry on through generations. We're not supposed to be on loggerhead and be fighting one another and back and forth and quarreling like dog and cat in the house. We're not supposed to do that. That is not the culture of the so-called Black, Hispanic, Native Indian man, woman, and child. What we're supposed to know is that when there's some kind of disturbance or somebody doesn't do something right, we that know better, all we're supposed to do is just now show them this is the way to do it. Or impose a penalty if you decide that you're being hardened. If you decide understand that you don't want to stop regardless of what penalty, now you're supposed to be moved out of our network or our neighborhoods and all of that because you decide you don't want to be a part of what is work. You decide that you love chaos more than you like solution, but like peace. You want war and all kind of garbage, and you don't want to fight demons. You don't want to really actually take back on your culture, which is what's supposed to run the planet in peace, prosperity, and all these nice things and all of that, because that's what the Bible designed for a place to run smooth and what's supposed to run. And it doesn't mean that it doesn't have labor in it, but you understand that it does take labor, it does take work to build something, but you're not confused as opposed to what to do. You're not hopping, jumping around, looking and skipping for what to grab onto because I don't know exactly what I'm supposed to do, and maybe it's this or maybe my purpose is all of that garbage. You imagine you talking about on a TV station, on social media and all of that. My purpose and my calling is to sing. Singing does not bring, you understand? They call it entertainment is something that, you know, it's by the way. is not, like art and all of that. That is not something that has helped sustain our society. We have to look at things from a practical perspective. That's why the name of the school is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. You can use it anyway. What is the practicality of what it is I am doing? Does this contribute to the building up of my nation, my people, my neighbors, my communities, my household? Does this do that? That's supposed to be what is most important. Then anything else on the side is what we call land, but it's an added benefit. That is how we're supposed to look at things. It's not supposed to be, like, I feel like doing this, and I'll do this because that's what I'm comfortable with. And you're just comfortable in destroying your own self. You don't understand the steps of what it means to be destructive to your own self, to be self-destructive. Like long time, even Christ, or the world is called Christ, but we know the Bible is called Yahushua, right? His father was a carpenter, and he passed it down to him. Paul was a tent maker, whatever the case is. That is something that will contribute in a sense to the society. But he knows basically everybody from since back when we forefathers didn't know. We just sit down council to make sure that the place is being governed the right way. We have Sabbath service, all of these things, and it was never something different. We have places in the temple, and when we go today, understand you do these things because that is contributed. That is the core principles to ensure that you have the proper foundation. When you have the proper foundation in terms of what we just do, the culture that you keep on pushing that through to the generations and all of that, they know this is what to do, this is how we just live, this is how we doesn't do things, you follow, they understand that that's supposed to be passed down as this is the remedy for that, this is the remedy for this. This is what you want to do when you have a baby. This is what you want to do after a baby, right? This is what you want to do when you encounter this ailment, that ailment. That's supposed to be a normal thing, that's supposed to be a platform. You understand your foundation? Because the society of the Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians do not have that, right? We're supposed to be a light unto the world, a light to the Gentiles, and the real Gentile, which is most of the times people of other races. They're supposed to see us, as they used to say in Deuteronomy 4, and say these people are wise and have a big understanding. They have a serious understanding of how things go. So we will look at them in terms of what to do. Because we're not in power and executing what we're supposed to do, the society in shambles and making a big mess. And proud as hell, proud as F, as we just say. Because they don't know exactly what to do, they don't have a clue, and they're not going to give up their position for us to get to really understand what to do so that we can now be on top, but it doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, once nobody understands is killing, is unaliving you, right? Or fighting you to the point, right? There's only some fight you can get. At the end of the day, God is in charge. There's no place where Satan has his own office where he have this big military and he fighting against God. That's another lie. When you read the book of Job, you don't see that. You see where Satan has permission. Satan is an obedient angel to the Most High. Shatan. He's an obedient angel. He has angels, right, designed to do things. Just as they have angels designed to do the right things, and they have angels to execute punishment, like police. That's what the police would look like, and basically in the spiritual realm. They would cause this to happen, that happen, natural disasters, and whatever the case to shake up the place, fires, and all that. And that's in the scriptures because you don't understand your culture, you don't know that this is what actually is the use for these things, for spirits and this and that and rams and bullocks and sheep. You don't have you have no clue. So the Black, Hispanic, Native Indian man, woman, and child, your way to come back to understanding that is only through these doors. Because again, it is something that we keep on ensuring that it's passed down the right way. So now there's multiple people, you understand? It's like Christ now have thousands of servants or disciples going and make more disciples. That is what it means to be a disciple. Not to duck in the water and you don't have no clue of what you're supposed to do. You don't have no understanding of what the Bible is saying and all of that. You're not supposed to be clueless and making up something and you think it's what it is and all of that. There's context in terms of what the Bible is talking about. If you have not read this and give me that thing, I think it's Acts 8 and 30 somewhere, where Philip do the Ethiopian, when you read in the Bible, you see, understandest thou what thou readest? That conversation, right? We're going to show you something because it was always in the Bible where it's supposed to be passed on. Let me see if I can reach that. I'll read this one in the meantime. Right? So what it is I'm saying is out of the Bible. It's not we making up something. Right? Deuteronomy, I think it's 7. It's saying in a sense to pass down to your children when they wake it up and they rise it up, when they sit down and all of that. We're supposed to do this. Right? Bear with me 1 second, right? If you had that, I would take it in the meantime, though, right? I will just get to this after. The Acts are the 8. There's Acts. We understand this what I read is 8 and something, 8 and 30 something. Right? I will go through this. Understand this. Watch. Oh. Just. Right? Yeah, Acts 38. Yeah, that's it. Same scripture, right? But there is one in the meantime. Right? Boom, right? So we can skip down to, let me see, boom, 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 boom. Right? Let me see. Alright, so, give me the Acts 8 and 10 meantime, Babu Kisha. You must see if I can find this thing. Babu Kisha, go ahead.
Acts chapter 8 and verse 15. And Philip ran, set up him, and heard him read the prophet Elias.
Read down verse 29. Try to move to 29. I think I'm going to get a little bit more context in terms of what they're talking about.
Acts chapter 8 and verse 29. Then the Spirit said unto Philip, who name, join thyself to this chariot.
Right. Right. So the Spirit of the Lord telling the Spirit is the zeal of the Lord. Like how plenty people maybe experience it, but they didn't know this was the Lord pushing them in the right direction. So don't go down that road. They have a bad feeling again, a bad feeling about this. Right? Really actually now it was shown that it was at the Most High because now you on the right or you have the right mindset or the right intention of doing something, and the Lord, also change. It's like Mary, right? She tell him, hey, Joseph, you understand, I will make sure that you understand, get you and him will all have intercourse and will bring child, you understand, and will bring Christ in you. Right? And he could be favored, he could be among many women, whatever the case is, right? Because Mary wasn't in the truth. But the times like that, the Lord, you understand, once you have good intentions, whatever the case is, the Lord can guide you and say, oh, this is what it is. At that time, so the Lord now put that evil spirit, as you're just not talking with Satan there, and tell the evil spirit to tell this man that, to tell a king to lie, tell this donkey to talk, and whatever the case is, that all them different things, the Lord have used cases for it. So again, as we were talking about earlier in the chapter, the Lord knows that the judgment that He has is according to what is truth and what really actually is the right thing to do at that time, or the proper thing to do. I didn't say the right, but the proper thing to do at that time, regarding to what a man saw, what a woman saw. Exactly. So good, you understand? They get good. So evil, they get good. They get evil. But the thing is, the bigger picture that the Most I always want is for you to behave yourself. It's to do what you say. Why you get punished? Because you don't understand what wise to do. Simply that. If you get to understand that now, you can avoid a lot of the pains that you're feeling. But because you don't understand this, majority of the time it's pain you feeling. Pain is not people, pain from my side. It's like rain. Because we don't understand what the Bible is talking about. And people just want to just run them out and not saying what inside them because you don't understand. You don't understand this book. It's a book passed down from generation to generation. This is black people, Hispanic people, Native Indian people, talking about what we're supposed to do and pass down. I want to get to the scripture here. Read the Acts 29, I believe it's 8 and 29, and read down the
Acts chapter 8 and verse 29. Then the Spirit said unto Philip, go near.
Right, so the Spirit of the Most High telling them, you understand, go near to this man. Listen to say, because remember, Philip now ain't know this man from nowhere. Right? So he meet up with this man by seeing this man reading the scriptures now, by seeing what going on here, right? So you will get to see more and more, right, what this thing really is, what the Lord trying to tell him. Read on, Babu Kisha.
Go near and join thyself this chariot. Verse 13. And Philip ran, set up to him,
right,
and heard him read the prophet understand dog, what dog, read it.
Right, so the Holy Spirit of the Most High telling him, hey, you see that man there? Run to the chariot, right? So this man is a man that has some, we call it now, the man have some, some weight or whatever the case is, right? The Ethiopian, you know. It's not because he's an Ethiopian. This is an Israelite man that lives in a different land. Like if I, you understand, was living like a Trinidadian man, come like that, and I live in Dubai. It's the same thing, right? Because this man now is not an Ethiopian, he's not a Dubaian. He's not from Dubai. He's a Trinidadian, basically, living in Dubai. So Philip now see the next man with an actually can say, wait now. He now going across, so Philip now in Dubai itself. So in Dubai, they want to wait now. You understand what you mean? Because you understand the constitution at the Trinidadians, basically. And the man saying, we don't have a
51. And he said, how can I accept some man to guide me?
Right, so the man now reading the book and saying, nah, me understand this enough. Right, but how could I understand this unless somebody guide me and let me know this is the constitution of the Trinidadians then? This is the constitution of the Israelites then. You follow? This is the same thing that it never was taught. So you picking up the Bible now and you're reading something, you don't understand exactly what it is, but nobody taught you that you need to be taught. No, it's not supposed to be house of God and house of bread and house of kings and house of queens and all of this garbage. You don't have that. And I picking up the Bible and I saying my own version of what it is that because I don't want to follow, you understand the guidelines of what the Lord's saying. That come like somebody, your father growing up in your house, right? And you reach 16, you turn 18, you think I'm drink beers or whatever the case legally. When you want to go and teach, you understand something different that you think, right? It is what your father really instructed you to do. That is not what your father teach you. That is every man, woman, and child that doing that, following after religion, not doing what the Bible says, not living what it says. You don't understand what you're doing. You don't understand what the Bible is talking about. Get to understand the scriptures that in Proverbs. Give me that Bible question. Get that. Proverbs 14 and 7. Right? Yeah, Proverbs chapter 4 and verse 7. Right? This is what you're supposed to do. The principal thing, the primary objective, the first things, what you're supposed to get is this.
Proverbs chapter 4 and verse 7. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom.
Right.
And with all thy getting, get understanding.
Right. So we're going to look up the definition of what good wisdom is. That the scripture's telling you the primary thing or the principal thing, the first thing to do is get wisdom. And then with that, when you get wisdom, you get understanding. Right? Look at what the definition of wisdom is. Right? Wisdom is the ability to apply knowledge and experience to make sound judgments and decisions, often involving insight, discernment, and ethical considerations. So now you get an insight in terms of what it is you're dealing with, right? Then you get in, we call it, you have discernment because you can tell what it is to do here, what it is not to do here, what is the best possible decision to make here. So you have discernment, now you can see what it is you're talking about here, what is my next best possible option. That is now coming into judgment. Right? And then you have your ethical consideration. What would be the outcome of this? That is what it means to have wisdom. Once you have the capacity to do that, according to the definition here, then you have wisdom. The Bible is telling you the principal thing and the primary thing to do is get wisdom. And with that, get understanding of what it is you're supposed to do. Then you understand you can really actually see what to do going down the road. We don't have that as a people. We don't understand nothing what the Bible is talking about. And that is something that you must come to a realization of. Other than that, you'll just be self-destructive and continue to make flips upon flips and blame it on this and wait for the government to fix this and all of that. And they're not operating by this procedure. They don't have what the Bible is talking about at T. The place that do that is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, because here what we decide to do. In the time we decide to seek the kingdom of the Most High first. The kingdom of the Most High is not some fairy tale place in the sky. It is what? It is a government basically, and how you set up a structure and how to run a society. What is the Spirit of Christ supposed to be transcending or all throughout this place? I'm supposed to see this mirror what Christ want, what the Most High want, what we just do in our communities. That's what it's supposed to look like. That is the kingdom of the Most High. It's not some place that understand that have once that imaginary seats and once the imaginary mansions and all that. It's on the earth. So not the earth how it's supposed to be. The so-called oppressor is in his kingdom right now. He is like in heaven. Because he now does control exactly all this flow and all of that. All the systems and all that. Half flow. Because the right spirit is not in us. All these amazing feats and inventions and all of these things, majority of them that he got from us, because when you're under oppression, you're only looking for a better way to do things. Because I can't get my back whip day in, day out. I wouldn't survive. So not exact a push now to make an adjustment. Look for a better way to do this. So now I gotta have some wisdom to do that. I'm watching and discerning of it now, how this wheel is working, how the bricks and this come up there where the body gets it. So now I look think our way by to not get my back work, because this oppressor here don't care about nothing proper. You don't have compassion, you don't have that. The scripture's telling you, he does not care about the own identity. So you don't care how that he just want it on time. He doesn't care exactly how it's supposed to go on. But look at the best way to do this. He does not have wisdom. The scriptures tell you the knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom. 40 laws of power is how I can be wicked and execute this thing to benefit, to so-called benefit me. Because all he studied now is in his lifetime, this is what I'm going to get. As opposed to let me set up something that now done through the generations now will benefit them. That is the difference in terms of the men here. They have the primary objective at hand. That is the main focus of the men inside here, the Israelite School of Universal Practice. That what the Lord talking about the goodness and mercy, despite that, you have to be absolutely, understand, not right upstairs here. To despise that and run back to these organizations, these religious organizations, which should be used as a shelter. Use that in a sense for soup kitchen and to have people in a sense living in a better area and give them some chance to do something. To something, dry goods or something, clothes or some kind of thing, help them. That's what them place is good for. Because only oppression and looking nice. Right? The Sunday best, put on the suit and all of that. The time you have a medical procedure, God will bless you. You have to be real thankful, you understand, to really actually, you get to understand it more. You see, when you're back against the wall, right? And all the destruction and all the party done and all the different things in them, and you're faced with, boy, you really actually they can understand things in it. You follow or you're not there squeeze where you try not to get something and all of that, and then I studying by what to do. What to do? Now you get to understand why you really actually these places that have been taught, that have been brought on down all of these different things in them, it really actually not beneficial to the people. All we remember this fine is that I want to tell you, understand that you, when they die, then you'll get. You're not thinking about how to make things, you understand, a little bit more happening within my household and my communities. Because you know why? When we die, what's so merciful now? You understand? It was so merciful, most merciful and all of that. The mercy is so that they get an opportunity to organize, you know, to work on these things. And you know what the same Romans chapter 2 and verse 4 about the
Romans chapter 2 and verse 4. For despite thou the riches of his goodness and forbearance and long suffering, not knowing that the goodness of the Most High leadeth thee to repentance.
Remember that again, Babakusha.
Romans chapter 2 and verse 4. For despite thou the riches of his goodness and forbearance and long suffering.
Was right there. So, and despising the goodness and the riches of the Most High mercy and the forbearance that the Lord have. We're supposed to have the same little child that falling on for the long thing, and it's so cute. And why is it so? It is so cute when you understand the teenager now, for some reason, taking what you have in the fridge, or or thieving your clothes or some kind of thing, or or some of that garbage. You have to work, you have to work, you have to deal with the issue. And you have to learn to do that because you don't have the time in the week now. You're so busy, you're so caught up in making sure that that is the case. For you to survive, you have to be on that, they call it the hamster wheel. You have to be on it. That is the only way you know to survive in this place. You know that is the only way. That is why it is so afraid to come to here, come to place like this. You're thinking about if that fall through, what happened? But here on, I don't know if you ever pay attention to what has happened when things are tight in certain places, like the EI. When they had to cut back on all that, who do you think they're going to cut back on first? While you are afraid to love your own date, they have no qualms about it, they feel no type of way about it. They're going to ensure that they take care of their own first. You're supposed to know, boy, I need to mind my business, I need to mind, understand what's going on in my community today. I need to contribute to that. That is what love look like. You can't, I just say, understand, you can't have, with this, charity begins at home and then abroad. Yeah, you have to have two home, you have to have it within your own people. And then we real far off, understand, with that. Imagine basic love and basic understanding whipped out of it. Mind, understand, shattered in terms of understanding certain things. It's so unfortunate. It really actually is a shame. The blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, that is what we are. It real sad. Yeah. But yeah, what all in us, because according to the Lord, read on to the rest of the verse, Babakusha. Here we telling you, this is what you want to make sure you understand. And this time here, at that time, we was out of our homeland too. The Gentiles are there, living in Rome. He wasn't living in Jerusalem. He was living in Trinidad. He was living in Dubai. He was living in Jamaica. He was living in El Salvador. He was living in Venezuela. At that time, you understand, he wasn't in the homeland doing what we're supposed to do and making sure things run right. He wasn't getting the benefits. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1 to 14. The thing nice. Because we despise, understand things, and then the Lord say, boy, keep on making sure these things that fall in end up in them kind of links now, and you'll end up from verse 15 in Deuteronomy 28 down to 68. And them thing in before we be in the prison full up the coffin, and them, you understand, the car don't sell coffin. Do you understand? The car don't get penicillin and all them different disease like rain. We sisters and them, you understand, don't even understand how destructive it is to be dealing with people outside areas where you're not supposed to do. You should be 7 and 3. You falling after the ways now. A lot of men on the low and passing that disease on to them, and you know what their prerogative is? They want to make sure you die out. You go and sleep with that one day, or you in your young and wild ways, in your young and your hope phase. When you're in that phase now, you don't understand later on. That is our plan. That is hundreds and hundreds of years plan to try and diminish you, to try and unalive you and lower your numbers. Because now you can't reproduce because it's all kind of diseases. You even understand that. You think it's a nice time and yucks and all of that. Same thing they do with pushing. They think they call it PDD is a monster. You don't even understand the little 14-year-old boy that you thinking innocent. He trained different. His mind so destructive. He gonna if he in pass on a disease there, he mash up your mental. You get thinking, you understand that really, and that's how men supposed to. You even understand that you ain't supposed to touch them. Their mind is more like real beast. Real beast. When they shatter your image of what man look like and what love look like, when you come back to your own, you never have compassion, you have a trauma, you have a real trauma. And you're not dealing with it. They don't have no, that wants that churches and wants fellowship all over the place in the communities and no centers for you to get, understand, your mind right, for you to get healing. No protection, no father figures in place, laying down the law that you're not supposed to give orders over to nobody else. Whatever them decide to do, that's their business, but you ain't supposed to look at that. That is not what the image of beauty is. You understand what beauty is? You're looking at physical looks. So everything is how good, how nice she look and how good he look, how handsome and how beautiful this one is. You don't understand, but the inner things are more important than. I'm not saying, we're not saying that, Dan, you understand, not to take care of your, don't take care of your parents, but that's what we is. We are clean people. We ain't so, you understand, we're not shaky. But you don't have the core principles inside. You don't know what it means to be a Jew inwardly. That is something that's critical, and you must understand that. You must get that first to build anything. That is why the place in shambles so, because we don't understand what that means to be inside here. Yeah? We don't have the same, to the end of verse 4. What you talking about, so you're going to be something with the repentance songs?
Romans chapter 2 and verse 4. For despiseth thou the riches of the goodness and forbearance and long suffering, not knowing that the goodness of the Most High leadeth thee to repentance.
You understand? You don't know that the goodness of the Most High, the long suffering of the Most High, just not like anything else, because you don't understand what, you understand, a system is supposed to look like. What, you understand, what a community is supposed to look like, what a family is supposed to look like. What is good culture? What is good company culture? What is good business etiquette? What is good business culture? What is a good, you understand? What is good religion? We don't believe in religion, but from a perspective of understanding, you don't know what it's supposed to look like. Long suffering, patience, you know what I mean? Because you know why we have to bear. Just like that pregnant woman, she knows she had to bear 29 months and all of that. You know why it's years and years of good ways and good habits forming. You understand? But make you repent. Repenting means to turn away from the wickedness that you was taught in the society. That's what it's supposed to look like. You don't understand them things, them core principles, and that is what it's supposed to be. That is what's going to rebuild your people, and that is what's going to put us back on the top. We're supposed to be with the responsibility of governing the world, making sure things run, because we understand what it means to be good, live good, good. We know what it means, understand, to be just and fair, and to execute proper judgment, and when correction need to be taken place, what it's supposed to look like. Who, you understand, that basically unalive. When it goes to that is an extreme. Who need to be caged, and who need to be locked away for this time, because there's an extreme reason for that. It's the proper tone to have a proper judgment. What the scripture said in verse 1, Romans 2 and verse 1, that the judgments are the Most High true and right. Give me that, I think it's Psalms 19 and 7, Baba Kisha. Give me that, Baba Kisha. You understand how profitable this is? Psalms 19 and 7. Psalm 19 and 7, Baba Kisha. Right? Looking for this thing. Well, bear with me 1 minute, right?
Psalm chapter 19 and verse 7. For we are consumed by thy anger.
No, Psalms 19 and verse 7. Yeah, Psalm 19, 1-9. Psalm 19, no. I'll bear with you 1 second, eh? The 9, it's someone else with us, Salakia, Babu Kisha. Right? Talking about the word of the Most High shock and go to the soul.
Psalm 19 and verse 7. The law of the Most High is perfect.
The law of the Most High is perfect. You understand? It's fitted, right, it's neat. It's exactly what you need. We don't know
Converted the soul.
Converting the soul. That's how you want. If you wanted a perfect template of how to raise a child, the law and the spirit of the law, what that is, the child not going and suffer, understand? He's not going and eat the wrong things, he's not going and do the wrong things, he's not going and shame you, understand? He's going to be ashamed of himself, he's not going to sabotage himself. He's going to be his soul, understand? It's going to grow up right. That soul is going to grow up right. We don't know, Bishop.
The testimony of the Most High is show, making wise the simple.
Right? So that is what going on. That is what the Bible scriptures there for. It's to bring you up to speed, basically, to make sure you go right. And hear what the religious institutions telling you. The laws are the most I've done away with. You see, when you don't understand something and you want to judge and you want to do your own things, that's how destructive it is. Because you don't understand, you don't have understanding, you don't have wisdom, you don't know how to apply this, you don't understand what it is, they have discernment because you don't understand what this is talking about. You don't understand how good that is for people and for society. That lacking, that absolutely lacking on the planet. The only place that have it is because this is enforced. This is what every man has come through, and you know how to come through the straight road. Because we know what it looked like, and it's not come on the straight road. So now you have appreciation for it, and now you apply this. This is enforced. This is exactly what we do. This is spirit that the Most High. It is a law to be to have long suffering. It is a law to be brotherly. It is a law to be sisterly. This is the instructions given here. Paul is talking about somewhere in Romans or something like that, where somebody was there trying to ask him, basically, where is it written there? Somebody trying to contend with him or some shit for this. They're trying to say then, your word saying here, right? It's like you making up that. You making up that. But what we saying, I have the authority to make this law. I have the authority to let you know this is instruction. This is good thing to listen to. This is good thing to do. So bring your mind up to speed and stop being carnal, stop being foolish, stop being simple. Let the Lord convert your spirit. Read it again, Baba Goshan. Same 19 and 7.
Psalm 19 and verse 7. The law of the Most High is perfect.
The law of the Most High is perfect. And the laws of the Most High dead. You don't understand nothing. It is proud and understand as you have the face, because they know you, the oppressor, put you as the face of what righteousness is supposed to look like. Say on the corner, and you have nice stained glass and all that, the place looking nice. But it's full of dead men bones. Because now you're robbing people from outside. Churches do not have nobody. They're not on that. If they come out to that food drive, they have alternative. I just put faith to come and spend more money. Because they don't build no system, no structure, none of that. They're not on that. They don't have prison programs, they understand, they don't know no effective ones. There are people inside there that may be innocent. Because some of us come from them places. There are some people that may be earnest and really actually want to do the right thing. They say box up with it. Because they try to put we are terrorists. Masculinity and femininity, you understand, of women have been terrorized. That have been propagandized, or whatever the word is, that have been said that this is not how you're supposed to do, and it's supposed to talk soft and weak and LGBTQ. That is not what they are not what them like selling for. They are not dirty made them male and female. Female and male, female made female, and male made male. Animal kingdom in confused about that. I never see understand no other way at the natural process, especially Christ. That is why that same lie understand is such a harmful thing. Talking about understand some angel come down from the sky and impregnate Mary. God come down there with, you know what I mean, some magic thing and impregnate she too. The same course, same way, just make sure that never change. That is always God design. Malachi 3 and 6, God said it didn't change. Matthew chapter 19 and verse 5, Christ said he didn't come to change the law, not take away nothing. No, so the one thought, one judgment, nothing from past from the scriptures. He didn't take away nothing from the prophecy. Nothing changed. The only change, understand, is you have to step up your game. Now it changed for the better. Now I have a higher, understand, calling for a higher, we call it mission for you to the witches, understand, to become better. So that now you understand, let the Lord, the Most High, the deep understanding of what they're supposed to do, really actually bring you up to speed, bring you up to be what you're supposed to do. Let bring you, understand, to we call it the, what the man say it again? That General say it again, Salakia. A little bit. The bare minimum. This is what the bare minimum is supposed to be. I'm supposed to understand the law at bare base. You're supposed to look at this point. This is the least that I can do. That's where you want to pay my dream. Now you really actually want to tighten up all the bolts on them inside your head. Come inside of these class, stand there and get them things and then ask a question. We here for that. We just here, you know, I mean, just having a time and playing over the cases. We want all it to get this too, so that now we now can do what we're supposed to do. The earth waiting for the manifestation of the sons of God. Look, we here. You too, in a sense, should be on this pathway too. This is who you is. This is who you are. That is what your mission, your primary objective is to come back to doing this and now start to go to the secondary objective. Great men, you understand, in the scriptures, all that we have men all over the place. It's not just, you understand, this they used to do. We have other things to do. Different compartments, our government. Christ won his spirit, which is to understand this year and doing more. Christ say you do greater than him. Everything that he do, you do more than it. So he telling you, an order, I give you an order. And understand, make more disciples. All they will do greater than I do. That is a law. That is, you understand, instruction of Christ, the king. Get busy. We idle right now. You understand? We idle because we're not up to speed in terms of understanding what it is. We wait at night. We destructive, we self-destructive as our people. We had to come out of that. It is high time, you understand, before you can do what you really need to be doing. Right? While you have the opportunity, while it is there, time to organize. So God bless Hispanic, Native, Indian man, woman, and child, you understand, the doors of the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, but you are open. You have different programs, come and find out exactly what it is. You have a son, gain trouble, whatever the case is. This is what the scriptures for. Give me that again, the same Romans chapter 2 and verse 4. Here what the scripture for. And then give me Timothy, I think it's 1 and 6 or something like that. Let me see if I could jump to that in the meantime. Give me the Romans 2 and Romans 2 and 4.
Romans chapter 2 and verse 4. For despiseth thou the riches of his goodness and forbearance and long suffering, not knowing that the goodness of the Most High leadeth thee to repentance.
Right. So this way you have to get the goodness of the Most High leading you to repentance. Come to that. And give me if you could find the Timothy that talking about the word of the Most High is quickness and no, not that I'm looking for. That you want to you be perfect and entire one thing. Perfect and entire, that's not perfect and entire one thing. It's for reproof, it's for this, that, the other, for instruction and righteousness, that the man of that the man in to be one thing or something. So this is what the scripture designed for. Now you have to get to understand that. It is a book, you understand, it is a manual, you understand, or a constitutional guide in terms of this is what you're supposed to do, this is the spirit that you're supposed to carry, this is what you're supposed to understand. Get that? And then start to build it and now make yourself duplicate that on the earth. This is the Lord wants his spirit. This is what the spirit of the Most High is. Not some go somewhere and all kind of that doing your own thing and feel something else and all kind of garbage. It's not that. Tongues is not that. It's not that hashkala garbage. Tongues is different languages. Some of them preachers are now coming out there because again pride. All you just have to do is come in and follow exactly what to do, get the right thing to do because we're doing. When you don't understand exactly how this thing really supposed to work, you feel you're gonna run some company and you taking piece of the things of them, right? You taking another 2 idea and you thinking you go and build some other company the same way. It have a structure in place for that reason, that laws and bylaws and all them different things so that you understand exactly what's supposed to be done in a company or inside this company. Then when you understand that now, every company decide I want to get more territory on this side and more people on board, they're going through the same exact process, nothing different. Same exact process. So that's why Christ said, the man that come through this door, you understand, that is the good shepherd. Any man trying to come through another door, and you're taking whaling from inside of this last time, you're trying to do it on the other side, somewhere you're a thief, and you're robbing your own self. You don't understand that. You didn't being destructive because you had to go to the back of the line in any case and come back and do that same thing. When Christ come back on the earth, you're going to do the same thing. Every man from birth is going to be the same exact ways that you're supposed to learn. You will get that. Then you make a branch out to other things. You could go and build up this, build up that, build this thing, this business here, this clinic here, this soup kitchen here, this farm here, whatever the case is, whatever. Them things that society needs. Imagine you understand exactly what it is to do in our society. Because we have been beaten down so much into slavery. We don't understand the importance of getting the core principles, the culture of the company, or the culture of our people, of the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian. What we just do. Then from there, understand, expand out. That's why we have all that problem. I mean, one young open all this garbage because they're not in your culture. You have on somebody else's culture. You have on the mafioso culture. You have on the oligarchs culture. You have on we call it them people, them Sicilian culture. You have all Lucky Luciani and all of right, the culture you have on. That is not your culture. You see, if you're not in a place, that's what the journals and all the officers is make sure understand that we understand and continue to help people understand this. He's not going to pull it down from the sky in a way, it's not going to come in by osmosis. You be in a place to apply what is being taught so that they get the proper understanding of what it is. When you go off or you don't do it verbally how it's supposed to be done, somebody now bring it back in line and you just do that. But in the environment, that is how it is good. I can never know how your house is run from by me. It's only by being by your house, you know what, this is what is put in this cupboard here, this pot is go here, in this fridge here, we just put this here, and the deep freeze, let's go, that is where it's go, this is where the tank is here, this is where the pump is here, this is where the pipe is there, this is where the sink is, and all of that. You can't, you understand, guess how this house is run from by you. You have to be in the house. And how that is not common sense. That is how dread, you understand, the spell of these religious organizations is. That is how you are to see for your own self that is how destructive this place is. We are the Bible. We all do the Bible. Yeah. So I hear the Bible. Say again. No, you can put it. See if you can put it. Get from a Bible. Yeah. Perfect and entire one thing. Perfect and entire one thing. Instruction and righteousness. Let me try that. Instruction and righteousness. And here's what. You don't want to be pressured out ways supposed or what the most I have to. Because them are not doing that, you understand something. They just understand what you call it, self-destructive, and they will meet their end. Either slowly or quickly. But if you understand desire and you want to live, if you want, you understand what you call it, a kingdom you desire, understand an earth where the place in proper order, you don't have to set our games, all this politics and all of that shitness, you understand what you have to do is you now leave, you understand, Auntie Bay and whoever it is want to stay, sit down inside these places and you come into here and now you start to work out your own fear and trembling. You understand? Work out your own salvation, fear and trembling. You're going to fear with the most I say, he's saying that at the beginning I was. And you're going to block out everything that people, you understand, want to do with the shipness, with the dumb, ridiculous. You don't have time for that. You have to get to understand, focus and busy. So that when Christ come back, you see your garment white as snow. You see a bride with blood, sprinkle, and blemish. You see, because you understand, you have the proper things inside. You not Jew inwardly. You just talking Jew. You are Jew for real. You just a Bible holder. You just live what that Bible says. That Bible real to you. That Bible come up with pages and then see it in your actions, in your everyday living, wherever it gets that you know you're fine tuning. That is what you want to be on. So for Black, Hispanic, and First Nation, Arawa, Caribbean, that is your culture. That's what you're supposed to do. If you see what I can find that thing for that you want to really get. Go ahead.
Second Timothy chapter 3 and verse 16. All scripture is given by inspiration of the Most High.
All scripture is given by inspiration of the Most High. You have to understand what it is here for. It's not here for style. Read on about the
and is profitable for doctrine.
And here it is, profitable is for gain, right? What is gainly, what is going to gain you understand? Or what is good for you, what is going to actually help you. Read on about the
or reproof.
Reproof, correction. Hey, don't do that. Child, leave that day. Boom, boom, boom. Not just and then back at no. You get to understand exactly what to do and know how to do that with somebody else. How to do that, understand how to build up your families on them and get a handle on things, how it's supposed to go. Bring it back to where it's supposed to be. How to now be profitable to yourself and to your people. We don't know
For correction.
for correction, right? All right, no problem. You do something wrong, all right, there's the penalty or not. So this is what you're going to do from here on out. Get that corrected. Okay, cool. No problem. Don't be sick, read on, Babuksha.
For instruction in righteousness.
Instruction in righteousness. All right, nice. This is what you're going to do here. Bam, bam, bam. This is the right thing to do. This is righteous. Good stuff. Good job, brother. It's a star over the cases. Good job. You understand the correction too, because the correction now is not to destroy you. It's to build you up. You don't know Babakasha?
To 17. That the man of the Most High may be perfect, truly furnished unto all good works.
So now you're in the right state, a mind, spirit, everything, where you're supposed to be. Now you're good to go. Now it's furnished here. You understand? Build you up properly. And now you understand, chip away, and now it's not really actually bring about something that you're supposed to already have. But not coming back into it. Right? Even if you understand, you decide to go there, wait off, but the cases, they ain't there yet. You understand? Your lifestyle. So you have time, you understand, to organize. You have a grace period. That building say, well, boy, all right, that is a big lock here. You have no more grace to get again. You get enough grace to pay off this building, you pay it off. You have time now, you understand? This is the period of time now, you have to pay that bill. Look to organize yourself, you understand, and now pay off them debts and debts and them, you follow it all that sin, and all that stupidity alone, and all this malicious behavior and all of that. Get rid of that. Now, you understand, let the word of the Most High now bring you on to perfect works and furnish. So now you can do good works. Now you can do what you're supposed to be doing. We don't about the shot. Is it? All right, so what again? I appreciate that, right? Going back to the Romans 2 about the shot. Let me see if I can find that the tune. Mute down. When you set this up and when you write, just let's find that. So we don't verse 5 and we don't function. We will show you the flip side of this because this is what you don't want. Right? This is how it is and with a reprobate mind. Reprobate mind, you can't absorb nothing righteous. You follow because you block it all through your ways. Because you decide I'm gonna lean on the left side, I can do what I want. This is what has happened. You want to be hardened, you know, listen, no problem. And there are people that decide that they go and go down that road right, but this is not you. Right? And you desire that, hey, this is what I want to be on the right path. I want to use my brain for what it was designed for, what I was given it for. Right? To be on the right path, to do your thing the right thing. Not for no garbage. I don't have time for that. People that decide they want to do that. That is not you. So go black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man, woman, and child, of course. Bring your tail, you understand, to organize and we get pocket. Right? Now it's waste time. Now it's time to get it right. You understand? To get back to what it is. Right? You made Baba Kusha.
Romans chapter 2 and verse 5. But after thy hardness and impudent heart, treasure unto thy wrath against the day of wrath.
Pause already. So we said when you not saying it very poetically. Say what your impertinent heart, you understand, up straight. We decide, but I don't want to hear nothing. I just go and be evil and okay. So you know church, it up like, oh man, it's about church. I think, oh yeah, I couldn't get this thing nice. I want to build a big house. I want to drive two vans. You understand? Two Maserati, a Range Rover, a yacht somewhere along the road. Everybody gets you building up that church. I know, and that man saying, oh yeah, well, you have a nice time with this. With the Lord saying, you building up that, you love it up, you bringing up all that judgment, all that rat thing. First you love wickedness, first you love stupidity. First you're dumb. You even it up like a big treasure, like Scrooge McDuck. You have a big thing here, and that's a big jar, you have punishment again. And lift them aside, just embarrassment. Because that's not going to, understand, it's not going to be hidden. At the end of the day, if you didn't know, because if you thought, you understand, that really and truly, like God thing, no way, or, you know, God do not existent, or, you know, somebody like there, you understand, some preacher, some professor like there, you know, well, yeah, God watch them thing. Without God, you understand? So you know, thinking about it. I mean, one life to live, YOLO. You don't understand why there's so much danger and things coming. You can't hide from that. it is going to be some time that you will face the consequences of your actions. Nothing on the earth does not go in a sense on punishment or unpaid for. Everything in a sense does getting a reward for punishment. That is just how things work. If there's no gray line, there's no other, that no way, that non-existent. That is just how it is work. The sooner you get to recognize that, the sooner you understand, no, really and truly begin to start to live. Because now you're wise, you understand the about this. This is how this is work. Right? I was taught them flushed out and started now come back to the job in our mind now and get a new spirit, a new mind, a new way of living. What are supposed to have in mind already. But I understand, we understand, you understand, or you're getting to understand more and more. As we understand more and more, that really and truly, being separated from your culture through slavery and all these different things is that's the design of the downfall of the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian. This is how we as a people perish. Perish for a lack of knowledge, perish for a lack of vision. For what it is we're supposed to be seeing, what it is we're supposed to knowing, doing, living, breathing, everything. We just here to tell you, understand, hey, it ain't, you understand, the end of the line. When you love your people, that is exactly what you're going to do. It's going to learn exactly how to now pull them out at the same thing. Lord said, all are we enslaved together. Daniel, you understand, good men. King David, good men. Nehemiah, great men. Ezekiel, great men. Jeremiah, great men. Isaiah, great men. Samson, great men. All of us were sent into slavery together. We on the planet again. In the same hellhole. Together. Good, bad, ugly, indifferent, everyone. We're going to come out of it together. But the Lord is looking for 144,000 men. That's the nice thing. The reason why it ain't, you understand, this whole place in collapse yet, and really and truly righteousness happening. So we don't know PNM and no UNC and PEP and Republican and Democrat and communists and all of that. The reason why that ain't fall yet is because the Lord government ain't saying set up yet. You're looking for 144,000 men. He said 12,000 from each tribe. Men don't even know what tribe you're from. You don't even know, you understand, the so-called Americans and them is the tribe of Judah, where Christ comes from. Majority of the tribe of Judah is there. When the board stop us off, you understand exactly as what the scripture says. That's actually in the Bible. Where we will be, where the Bible prophesied that is where we will land. Where we will be dwelling, the majority of us. In the Caribbean, it's the tribe of Benjamin, the youngest son. The Puerto Ricans, you understand, it's the tribe of Joseph, Ephraim. Manasseh, understand? The Cubans, Venezuela, and the tribe of Asha, Venezuela to Colombia, Paraguay to Uruguay, you understand? It's Naphtali. No, not Naphtali. That is who again? Gosh, I don't remember anything. One of them tribe, one of them there, right? No, Naphtali is Argentina to Chile, right? It's the Mexicans, right? Ruben is the what do you call him? The not native, it's like a Native American, but it's what was Ruben again?
Yeah.
Seminole Indians, right? Seminole Indians, just like God, like the Gadites, almost like the Gadites, but different tribe. Same people, different tribe. The Gadites, understand? North American Indians or the Native Indians or the First Nation people. Majority of the tribes, or majority of the places that they dwell, that's the tribe of God. All these things I don't know, it's supposed to be common knowledge. Levites, the tribe of Levi. I mean, Haitians, enemy. Tribe of Levi. Them things supposed to be common, like we're supposed to know. The real simple thing like the red light, green light, amber light, understand? Sky blue, the road pitch, the grass green. Them things is common things we're supposed to know, and we don't know that as a people. That was whipped out us from slavery. Everything was stripped away from us. It's come as foreign. You know, looking at this, you want to know is some type of invasion. You looking so strange. No ability to support anything he's saying. Man, behave yourself. You not come on here and you even run in your mouth. He know what the Bible say, he nothing. You just train, you just talk. You don't know wisdom, you don't know the ability to perceive, hey, what it is he's saying. He asks a question, what it is he talking about? You just open your mouth. No type of training, no type of discipline, nothing. Imagine that. That is a pity. That is what the Lord looking to erase from the earth. Stupidity. In a sense, he's looking for 144,000 men, right? From each tribe to formulate that government so that he could put the earth in proper order. Or supposed to run. Christ come back on the earth. Christ a black man, which Revelation chapter 1, right? Verse 1, then go down to verse 13 to 15. Right? The image of Christ. Christ black. But when the people start learning that now, black, Spanish, and Native Indian is one people, is one race. Yeah? Esau in the Bible is a so-called white man. Elam, you understand the East Indian, you follow? The people like Elam. And we are so disgusting about this today. Elamites, when we was under them in slavery, they never treat us. Like that was so disgusting about today, where they're so out of pocket, you wouldn't believe. We didn't have a working relationship. That is not with certain Africans and all of that. Them sold us into slavery in modern time. When we and Solomon time, when we was in power, we deal good with them and they'll good with us. But under this oppressor, that so-called white man, he understand this push real garbage and the scripture saying this is by sword. Going across the day land and all of that and Tiffany resources and all that. So everybody started to get real covetous and disgusting. And that is extrapolating to more evil on the earth. When that man in power, you understand? When the son of perdition in power, that's what the scripture is talking about. That's what they see on the earth. That's why he needs, you understand, to be moved from the ASAP, because he will never see, and he is the problem. You never see that. So we understand how to take this grace period and organize accordingly. Right? We will learn from a shop. I think 2 and 5, right? Yeah, read on number 6 part of the shop.
Romans chapter 2 and verse 6. Who will render every man according to his deeds.
Exactly. That way you work for, that is how you get paid. It's simple as that. That is how things work. That is how the Lord doing it. And you know, he will render to you according to your deeds. You do in secret, open, you ain't shower, whoever gets it, you'll get paid regardless. What you want to do is follow the instruction that you was taught. Follow what the Bible is saying and there for that purpose. You studying somebody, understand, who showing you. Not about your well-being. The person not on that. The religious institution them not on that. Neither are they equipped to do it. But those that try, understand, of course, understand, is a great thing to try. It is a better thing, understand, to do the right thing, to do the proper thing. It's trying out in your own stead and in your own ways, as opposed to what the Lord saying. If you have a template, it's not like you don't know what to do. You don't want to understand what to do because you don't want to be uncomfortable and you don't want to do what. You want to be friends with men that are evil. And they seen it. No, social media is so big all over the place. What excuse you could give God? What you can tell them? I'll afraid to take away my job. I'll afraid to come out of my house. When last you see people all in the bush, all kind of thing, nobody gets them and starving. They see them all cutting with it, all kind of blasting and making food and all kind of thing. And they die. So what? Come on. And what we so afraid about that? We're not supposed to be afraid of that. We're supposed to understand that to know, well, hey, man, let's come back on the earth. It is recycled. That's like the air, the evaporation is happening here. Evaporation come up and come again. Scriptures that have that in the Bible too. Nothing new under the earth, nothing new under the sun. That thing that was before, we know it is man. Ecclesiastes 3 and 6 or something. So that in the Bible, all these things, you understand that there's supposed to be common knowledge in the Bible. So it wouldn't have you fearful. Perfect love casts all fear because you understand what is what. So you're not fearful because you understand exactly how things running. So that not making you trip up and making a stuff stupid move that you don't need to be making. You're not supposed to be, understand, tripping up and making a set of uninformed decisions. That is not wise. We not as a people who are stripped of that ability. We are not wise. True, understand us not appreciating what we had before, doing what we're supposed to be doing. So now creating a lot, you understand, of unfortunate circumstances which we have no business suffering. We're not supposed to be suffering as people like this. We have one of the biggest buying power on the planet and we poor like this. Why? We didn't understand that man's sugar. This person here. We in the same condition that KST boy, these people I must be one people. First the programming dangerous. First, understand it hypnotic. You can't see why I wonder you have a total understand by I wonder the Venezuela and Trinidad see people boy. Look at what's going on with them and with people. Imagine though you have that ability, they have no compassion in all you have is fear and greed. Fear and greed. Afraid boy them come up and eat up everything boy. When they know to build you big provision, big soul, dashing big soul, ask them, you don't understand gold and the treasure that you have in your brothers and how dread, how season is with certain things. If you really get to come together, man, that's what the Lord wants. The Lord wants us in a nation that not desire to come together. That we could really actually get what we're supposed to be getting done. It is a shame. It is a real shame that now these schools are being cut all over the place, and we're just looking for more places that we have more to do. It's a real shame. Crying shame, unfortunately. That we so divided as our people are the most powerful people on the planet. Because of the love and the laws of the Most High is what make us that. What make us understand superior to everybody on the earth. These understanding, wisdom, is put you in that position so that now you can really be of service. You can really be of a benefit to the people on the planet. And unfortunately, we're not there. But it's not the end. That is not it. This is not it ain't may call it a closed chapter. It's not like we can't do nothing about it. We have to come together and do what we have to get this understanding of what the Lord talking about and then begin to execute that and spread it. At the end of the day, this Bible, right? The instruction here is yours. So you're not supposed to care what somebody think about what you're doing. That doesn't concern them. These things they don't like what you're doing, but that don't concern you. I don't run any bag on guitar and tell you what to do. I don't run in the temple and tell you what to do. That is not my concern. I'm out of place. I don't come up on a live and try to find out what they're talking about. I don't concern about that. That does not concern me. What concerns me is the lie telling my people. I will ensure that that lie is eradicated as best as possible. We will fight for the minds of our people to help them understand, hey, come away from that. And we don't have to pick up our gun yet. We don't have to pick up nothing, no last nothing. If we have to defend ourselves, of course we will. We want men, you understand, to come up inside of here, understand what to be done, so that now you can save your people and from destruction, from destroying yourself, destroying each other, you understand, and falling victim to this place. It is help. Right? So you want a little plug in, we have classes all through the week. Mondays and Tuesdays now as well. Tune in right from 7 to 9. Right? On Friday, we have a class with the brother. He is tuning from UK, teaching him class. So you have to learn your language again. Right from around 2 p.m. I think 2 p.m. right? Eastern Standard Time. But Officer Raban, the Hebrew man, right? Around that time, right? So tune in around that time again. You want to start learning your language and ask questions and grade. Right? This for you. So called Black Hispanic Native Indian man, woman and child. This for you. Right? Fridays, that time, and then Saturday, of course, we have classes and things. So look at that. Right? All right, and with that, and as I return the class over to the production. Right? All right. Look at it. Also, right? Tune in Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. Right? Commander General on YouTube, right? Facebook, Instagram, invite we online, right? Mainly YouTube and all of that, right? So you want to look up Commander General Yana and start to look up things like Black Watch, right? And American on Fire. Follow all them channels and Commander General Yana, Black Watch, American Fire, and start to get an understanding of what's taking place on the earth, right? So that now you can get up to speed in terms of what really actually the Bible is saying, what the history is saying, what the world is saying, and now understand how to now sort of operate and get yourself back in your culture and understand where we are in history and what is the next step going forward. Combine and let me get this thing together. Right? I'm right. So, yes.
We had ISUPK out of 150 columns. New York under Commanding General Johan. The rules of conduct system for the two brother sister comes to the school. They are off limits for 6 months. They are here to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves of the world. After 6 months, if your brother or sister has an interest and peculiar person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to another brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which your brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, a brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithe, which is the commandment, you can find this in Numbers chapter 18 verse 21 of Malachi chapter 3 verse 18 10. Means 10 is to be as much as my share. 10% of every pay increase the Lord gives you to a tribute department. For teacher, please one. Free will offering for peace, non-mandatory, whatever amount you like to give. Upcoming holy convocation.
All of everyone knows, right?
So then the feast of first fruit, that will be Sunday, the 7th, the 8th, Sunday the 8th at 5 p.m. that June. Sundown.
Yes, so you want to tune in, right? That's the next upcoming high holiday we have, right? Closing at the feast of first fruits, right? 5 o'clock, the link to the school, go up to the bio. In the comment section to the link to the school, right? You can find it there. You can call the school number to find out a bit more information how to get to the school and all that, right? So you can talk to them about that organization. That's right, correct, that's right. John visit me now, and that right.
Mind you, if you have watch them to check out social media, such as ISPP, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on, by big events and material. If your brother wants to be inspired in the school, then they start wearing all black, which includes black boots, like shirts, like pants, like a bound stuff. That we said, you want them? So, good up. You want to say the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew? Abinawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Magash, Ayah, Chapka, Yahoah, Avokat, Ba'a, Bezaka, Ayah, Aisha, Aratiza, Sawab, Ayah, Hashemayim, Yata, and the war, Akab, Kal, Yawam, Baslak Noah, Abawaki Noah, Tasilak Noah, Abawaki Noah, Wala, Tabia Noah, Basawan, Abol, Oshai Noah, Maya, Rai, Ayah, Maka, Malakwa, Bahala, Taparat, Ilonia, Man.
We just said in the English word, our Father, the number, will be the name, Yahweh, Kingdom come, will be done, I will be done. This is not because this day, daily bread. So that, yes, not. And to temptation, but deliver us from evil. Thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it.
the teacher what to do, Madam Sabat, Madam, Rock. Your horse is Madam Sabat, Madam, Barak. Your horse is
Right, folks, only to what again for tune in, right? To what means thank you, right? So again, log in with the next class term here, next day and all that, come to our right?